by, I believe it was Jeb Bush, correct?
Yes.
So you were appointed by Jeb Bush to the Florida Elections Commission. That was right after the whole Bush v. Gore, the hanging chads. So give folks who may have forgotten about that a little background on what got you into this space in the first place.
Well, and thank you for having me. Really appreciate you guys having me on today. People forget that, 2000 was a complete disaster, not only for our own state, but for the country as a whole. As the great Tim Russert said back in the day, Florida, Florida, Florida. That's what it comes down to. And it hung in the balance in terms of whether it's going to be George Bush or Al Gore. Back then, Florida did not have in place the reforms that we have now. It was utter and complete chaos, particularly in the three largest counties in the state by population: Miami-Dade County, which is obviously Miami; Broward County, which would be Fort Lauderdale; and Palm Beach County, which would be Palm Beach. For those of your listeners and your viewers, that's the southeast coast on the Atlantic Ocean, those three counties. And in those counties, probably back then, 5 million people, probably almost a third of the state's population. And so it was a complete disaster. It was a disaster for our state. It came down to Supreme Courts, both in the state of Florida and at the United States level, making decisions to stop and start counts. And ultimately, George Bush was the winner.
Remember college? Well, now, college is over, and here comes your student loan debt. Is your private student loan debt keeping you up at night? You really need to talk to YRefi. YRefi refinances distressed or defaulted private student loans that others won't touch. They can save you thousands of dollars and get you a custom payment that you can afford. And they don't care what your credit score is. Don't let private student loan debt ruin your life. Call YRefi today.